Hi hard droppers, welcome to the Tetris Tournament Online 3. This is the losers bracket round 4 between mattyabar and MicroBlizz. So mattyabar is a really solid Japanese player. He's considered to be a tier 1 player by most of the Tetris community. And he actually did really well against the defending champion Mai in the first round of the playoffs, taking 11 games off of him. Mattyabar is known as a defensive specialist, and his defensive timing is just impeccable, and his offense is pretty solid too. His T-spin vision is extraordinary, and he sends massive spikes. MicroBlizz, on the other hand, he's the second fastest player in the world. He sports a 40 lines time of 20.28 seconds, and recently he's been able to incorporate his speed into more well-timed attacks. He's picked up timing in the past year, and that's helped him just improve a ridiculous amount in the past year, and it makes him a contender in this match for sure. Unfortunately, he has some pretty nasty misdrops right there that he can fix with T. MicroBlizz also, he's really good at holding his T's and I's. If you notice there, if he didn't have his T, he would have lost right there. But since he had a T in hold, he was able to block some of mattyabar's garbage and thus save himself. Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, you're exactly right about these players just being top tier right now, and how MicroBlizz has just really improved in the past year. Like, if you watch him play, his T-spin vision has gotten a lot better. You're seeing him use 7-2 stacking, 6-3 stacking like it's nothing, and it's just really impressive to see him pull out all of these advanced techniques with ease. And MicroBlizz takes the first match with 20 APM down, but it looks like it's working out for him. So these two players, MicroBlizz opening with his 6-3 stack again. You really like that thing. And mattyabar just trying to stay at the bottom of the field.
Yeah, I actually talked to MicroBlizz before this match, and he actually told me he thought he had a pretty good chance of winning if he didn't misdrop. And it seems like he's doing a fantastic job here of playing really cleanly, of limiting the misdrops, and especially just timing his attacks very well. Because mattyabar is such a defensive beast that if you don't time your attacks well, it's really difficult to beat him, especially if you're just sending over massive APM without regard to timing. He'll be able to send it right back to you.
Yeah, MicroBlizz definitely has the APM, but it's the timing that's so crucial against mattyabar. We already saw, even at 37 seconds, mattyabar was pushed to the top, having to combo down, and he's in a much more stable position now. But that just goes to show how quickly MicroBlizz can turn the match around.
If you saw there, MicroBlizz actually was really close to losing. Oh, well, he did lose, but if he had not misdropped his J piece, he would have saved himself and taken the match. And mattyabar ends up taking the second match, sending 88 lines in 74 seconds. Just showing that not only is he an awesome defensive player, but he can really pound the lines and put on the pressure.
This is going to be pretty interesting to see where this match goes between these two players. As we can see, MicroBlizz is comfortable at stacking on both of the two sides, which is really important for high-level play like this. And mattyabar is just exhibiting his good technique as well. Both of them are playing very fast. I'd say that MicroBlizz definitely has the speed advantage here. You can tell even with them both playing so quickly.
If you also notice, both players always make sure that they have access to their immediate garbage, so that if they ever need to downstack, it's not a problem for them. Especially in these matches, when the lines come so rapidly and your opponent's timing their attacks so well, it's really important that you have access to clean garbage that you can block your opponent's spikes with. Otherwise, you're prone to dying. And MicroBlizz with the ugly misdrop there, but I think he'll be able to fix that because he does have quite a bit of clean garbage on his side of the field once he got out of that misdrop. And mattyabar does have a bit of Swiss cheese garbage that he needs to deal with.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of messy garbage going back and forth between these players. I like what they're doing. They're sending the messy garbage on top of the clean garbage. It's a nice combination.
I think what's going on is MicroBlizz, he recently integrated combos into his attack, and since he's such a fast player, he's able to stack more rows for his combo, and that makes his combos that much deadlier. And
Oh
the thing
goodness.
is, mattyabar is such a great downstacker that if he does receive messy garbage, he's able to downstack into with the combo, and that sends the messy garbage back to MicroBlizz. As you see, mattyabar does take this match, sending 118 and 106. Once again, you can tell both players are really sending a lot of lines here.
Oh man, I knew that game was over from the minute MicroBlizz made that L misdrop. I mean, when it's that high above whatever's below, there's no way he's going to turn that into a Neo TS whatever.
Yeah, that misdrop was really deadly because it created such a large hole and it didn't really provide him with a T-spin double opportunity. Because if it had provided him with a T-spin opportunity, he would have been able to set it up and block some of mattyabar's incoming attacks while also downstacking. And it looks like mattyabar has the ugly misdrops this time, and I think oh, he actually might be able to get out of it, but unfortunately he misdropped
No, I
his
don't think
Z
so.
piece, and that's going to cost him this game for sure. And MicroBlizz does take the second game, and now the score is 2-2. So this match is pretty even so far.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering what mattyabar was doing in that game the whole time, because he did his T-spin triple at the beginning, and he followed that up with the soft drop. But MicroBlizz is the kind of player who can downstack through his own pieces to get to the garbage as soon as possible. So I don't know that that was the best strategy.
If you notice, both players stack very cleanly. Their fields are always balanced and flat, so it's really easy for them to downstack. And that makes them really hard to kill. mattyabar makes a misdrop there, a crucial misdrop at that. MicroBlizz, being the screen washer that he is, he takes advantage of that and he sends some APM and tops mattyabar out.
I think that we're seeing the misdrops make or break their play at this point in the match. It's just really going back and forth with whoever is making the misdrops, and that's probably not so uncommon for early match play, but it's still really important.
I think it's really important in this match in particular because both players are such great timers that they're just so hard to kill if you don't misdrop, because they always have lines ready to block your attacks with, and even past that they're usually in safe positions, so it's really hard to top them out if they don't misdrop. But once they do misdrop, their opponents, because both of them screen watch actively, they'll try to send as many lines as possible if their opponents misdrop. As you can see, mattyabar took advantage of MicroBlizz being in a somewhat awkward situation, and he sent a lot of lines. And oh wow, mattyabar has some nasty misdrops that he needs to clean up on his side of the screen. MicroBlizz needs to send as many lines as possible right now so he can top mattyabar out, and I think he's going to be able to do that. Wait, no, mattyabar actually had his eyepiece in hold, and he was able to get out of that. Unfortunately for MicroBlizz, he didn't have a T-spin double or a Tetris setup at the time, so he wasn't able to send mattyabar right back to the top, and it seems like we're just going to go back into mid game again.
This is really great to see this. What MicroBlizz did back there when he was still trying to top mattyabar out was he did an S donation into his column. And it was funny. Most times when you do an S donation, it's pretty nice. You can do a T-spin double, but what he ended up doing was doing a T-spin single, which he turned into a combo. And that just, I think that that's something he did on purpose because the messy garbage is so advantageous to be sending, especially with such a defensive player as mattyabar.
Well, MicroBlizz with such a nice save there. He seemed like he was about to die, but he got out of that situation pretty nicely because he did have his eyepiece in hold. once he got to his clean garbage, and he was able to block mattyabar's attack and get to the bottom. And now we're in the first hurry up garbage game. And hurry up garbage timing is pretty important, but also at the same time you want to send as many lines to your opponent, because if somehow you send lines that end up in an unfavorable garbage column for them, you might just take the game because it'll make their down stacking awkward and stuff.
It looks like mattyabar has a different strategy. You saw him waiting there. He just wants to cancel as much as he can, and this whole time he's just been down stacking, trying to get to the bottom, to the solid garbage as soon as possible.
Well, if you notice, mattyabar had messy garbage on his side of the screen, so if he wasn't down stacking, that'd be incredibly risky for him. Ooh, mattyabar and both of these players are in some serious trouble here. And unfortunately, MicroBlizz makes some nasty misdrops, and that cost him a game that I think he could have won if he didn't make those misdrops.
Yeah, look at that attack difference, 165 to 121. He was he really had that game to lose.
However, it's still tied at 3-3.
This match could go either way right now. We're seeing it both players open conservatively with T-spins, and MicroBlizz makes all these misdrops at the very beginning, and he's trying to down stack through it. There's just no way.
Yeah, he had too many ugly misdrops for that to work out for him.
Yeah, you can't down stack 3 misdrops with more misdrops.
Those games are really unfortunate because they're basically free wins for your opponent, and they also sometimes lower your morale because you feel like you're lagging and you just realize you gave away a free win.
I think that it's close enough to the beginning of the match where the players have enough time for morale recoveries, if you will.
Yeah, definitely.
mattyabar made a misdrop right there. He's having to slide in his S pieces, slide in his Z's. Yeah. What are you saying?
Oh yeah, I was agreeing with your statement. Like, say MicroBlizz takes this game, it'll basically be forgotten that he threw away the previous game.
I'm loving these cut copies from mattyabar. It's so efficient. It's up there with Super T-Spin Double in terms of efficiency, except it takes even less space. You can do it right above a garbage column without much setup. It's just a really great defensive way to set up 2 T-Spin doubles.
For those of you who don't know, a cut copy is when you set up a T-spin with an overhang that after you finish the first T-spin, the second T-spin is already there for you. And it's a really efficient and clean way of attacking because it doesn't create any unnecessary things for you to downstack through if you need to downstack immediately. And MicroBlizz just sent quite a bit of messy garbage over to mattyabar. But since both of these players are very good downstackers, I don't think messy garbage necessarily is going to hinder either one of them. It's going to yeah.
Go on. We're only 30 seconds away from a hurry up garbage. I think that we're going to. Nope. mattyabar takes the match right there.
Well, the problem in that match was MicroBlizz needed to put his eyepiece in the hole, and then he needed another eyepiece at the same time to block mattyabar's incoming garbage. So that was unfavorable for him. Otherwise, I think he might have been able to take that match because he had actually a bunch of clean garbage on his side of the screen that he could have chained into an enormous spike that I'm not sure mattyabar would have been able to tank.
We're seeing MicroBlizz speed way up for this game. It's really impressive to just see his massive APM. At the same time, with those misdrops on mattyabar's side, I think that he's going to take this game pretty handily.
Yeah, mattyabar was in an awkward situation after those misdrops, and MicroBlizz made sure that he took advantage of those. And he taught mattyabar out with some nice T-spins there. I think one advantage that MicroBlizz has is that his speed is so great that if he sees his opponent misdrop, he can set up a T-spin double almost instantly within like the next 1.5 seconds, and that might top his opponent out. So when people are playing MicroBlizz, they have to downstack their misdrops very quickly, or else he'll just kill them.
It's interesting. mattyabar is paying attention to the kind of garbage that MicroBlizz is sending, which really just shows you how closely he's watching his screen. He had this T-spin double set up right there. He was about to block MicroBlizz, and he decided to put it to the side and clear his T-spin double with his next T that comes along, because he knew that he would be receiving clean garbage, which is great when you're at the bottom of your field.
Ooh, did you see that spike by MicroBlizz? That was such a great spike. He sent so much garbage, and I think it put so much pressure on mattyabar that he made a misdrop, and that's what gave MicroBlizz the win there. And once again, the match is now tied at 5-5.
It was just ruthless. MicroBlizz is just really putting on the pressure right now.
MicroBlizz and mattyabar actually played several times prior to this match, and all of their practice sets were very close. So this match is definitely going to be a very close one, and there's really no favorite right now. Unfortunately, MicroBlizz made a misdrop there, and he followed it up with another misdrop. So mattyabar was able to capitalize on that and take the win in that game.
It's so interesting to see this just go back and forth right now. It looks like these players are just really trying to decide what is going to work, what is going to give me the most wins here. And I think consistency has already started to play a big factor in, but they're starting to develop their strategies a little further than that.
I also think it's quite interesting because these two players played each other prior to the match, which means they've gotten a glimpse of their opponent's play style. So I'm not sure how they'll adjust to strategies based on that. And they might be wondering how their opponent's going to adjust. MicroBlizz with a fractal there, but unfortunately his T-piece did not spin in, and that really caused him a lot of trouble. Now he has so much messy garbage to downstack through, but mattyabar only has a Tetris set up, so I think MicroBlizz might be able to get through this safely. Unfortunately, mattyabar was able to spike him out there.
I think it helps to feel out each other before the match. I think it's pretty cool that these high level players feel comfortable playing each other before an official Tetris match. But I think that oftentimes we'll find that players don't show their true colors unless they are in tournament setting.
Yeah, I agree with you on that point. That's why I was wondering why they actually played each other, because they both know that they're not going to play their hardest in the practice match. Yet also, I'm not sure how well each player would be able to hide his or his strengths. And I don't know. I just thought it was interesting that they decided to play each other before the match. And mattyabar is just putting on so much pressure right now. He sent 41 lines in 22 seconds. That's quite some impressive APM. I think it's about 100 APM if I'm correct. And mattyabar is gaining some momentum. He has a 3-game win streak and an 8-6 lead in the match. An 8-5 lead in the match.
That's really cool to see mattyabar branch out like that, because a lot of times, even though he has great technique, we see a conservative playstyle, and we don't actually see how much he can attack when he wants to. And mattyabar has to work through that one single garbage column, but it looks like he has a clean stack right now. And MicroBlizz at the bottom of his stack.
I think
I'm not sure what he's doing there.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, it's kind of cool. I did not see that T-spin coming, but he set up an S donation before he even upstacked to that point where he would use it. It's just really high level. Now, what are you saying?
Oh, I was saying that mattyabar, even though he doesn't always focus on attacking, that doesn't mean his offensive capabilities aren't good. It simply means that he chooses to time his attacks most of the time, and if he doesn't see a great opportunity to spike his opponent out, he'll simply decide not to send that many lines. He might just put on some constant pressure, and then when his opponent gets into a nasty situation, he'll just send all the lines that he can. And like right now, MicroBlizz had a nasty misdrop there, but being the great downstacker that he is, he got through it pretty easily.
It just isn't enough to send out high API. You need to know how to use it too, just as you say. With great power comes great responsibility.
And I think it's really important that you integrate your opponent's garbage, because if you're creating your own garbage or you're creating your own attacks out of your upstack, then you have to set up all 10 Minos. Whereas if you're just using your opponent's garbage, you only have to use one Mino from one of your Tetra Minos, and that's just a lot more efficient, and it really gives you a lot more room to spike.
We're reaching hurry up garbage again for the second time, and mattyabar, oh no, that IMS drop. Usually IMS drops are deadly in hurry up garbage, but he was able to get out of it. The interesting thing is that it was right in the middle of his field, which usually locks into place, and that's it.
It seemed like mattyabar was in big trouble there, because he was at the top, but he actually had such an enormous attack setup that it really didn't matter because he could block any incoming attacks, and then he chained his T-spin into a combo that sent messy garbage to MicroBlizz's side, and MicroBlizz was really trying to pound the garbage output that time, but he made a nasty misdrop, and misdrops in hurry up garbage are that much more painful because you have a lot less room to maneuver, and your opponent needs to send even less lines to top you out.
We're seeing a really solid late game play from mattyabar, and I think that might be a difficult thing for MicroBlizz to overcome.
I think a lot of what's causing MicroBlizz trouble is his misdrops right now. He has actually a bunch of clean garbage near the bottom of his screen, and unfortunately he wasn't able to take advantage of that, and mattyabar did take this match.
Yeah, MicroBlizz definitely has everything he needs to win this match. He just needs to. I think that all the problems are in his head right now. He's got to sort it out.
I think he mainly just needs to limit the misdrops, because when he does not misdrop, his timing is good enough so that he can survive. He can definitely survive mattyabar's attack. But fixing misdrops really takes a lot of his time out, and sometimes mattyabar is able to capitalize and just take the game from there.
When you're in a tournament setting, sometimes practicing all your things like screen watching, garbage blocking, and attack, that's not even enough, because if you don't have the nerves for a tournament match, then suddenly you find yourself in an advantageous position.
I think both of these players have a lot of tournament experience though, and MicroBlizz actually told me that he didn't really get nervous during tournaments anymore.
One thing that MicroBlizz did mention is that although he doesn't consider himself nervous during tournaments, his hands do shake, and so that is something to overcome, I think.
Yeah, that does cause a lot of misdrops, but I think a lot of players have told me that even though they don't get nervous anymore, their hands shake, and that causes them to misdrop a bit. mattyabar's at the top of his field right now, but unfortunately for MicroBlizz, mattyabar has access to his clean garbage, and he's trying to set up a spike right there, but he misdropped his S piece, which he intended to use as an overhang. Now he has quite a mess to deal with, and if MicroBlizz can take this match, it'll give him the momentum that he might need to make a comeback, since mattyabar had such a nice win streak.
That is a really nice downstack combo from mattyabar right there.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that MicroBlizz was just going to take the match then, because mattyabar had such a mess on his side of the screen, plus the misdrops that he had to fix, but it seems like both players are in equally safe positions now. mattyabar has clean garbage on his screen, and MicroBlizz is near the middle, but he has a lot of clean garbage, and he actually decided to opt for the combo instead of sending the Tetris. And mattyabar now, oh wow, mattyabar had clean garbage himself, and now both players are in really not so great positions. mattyabar has misdrops, but MicroBlizz now got access to his clean garbage, And since mattyabar did not, oh, he just did set up a T-spin double right there, and now he got out of that. Can you believe that?
Wow.
And he did take the match. MicroBlizz had so many chances to take that match.
On paper, it looks like mattyabar is always winning the late game, but right there, that could have gone either way. That was really impressive from both players, just how they handled those misdrops and how they just really tuned into the late game.
Yeah, MicroBlizz did a fantastic job in the late game. It's just that
MicroBlizz opting for the T-spin single, and I think mattyabar did too. Those were probably just situational setups, but the messy garbage will be a lot harder for them to work through. We're seeing 1-2 lines sent, and that's just the kind of thing that's really difficult to downstack through.
for those of you who noticed, the stream did disconnect, but I think that was because the server or the Twitch server had a minor issue. They said that the server might be offline or something like that, but the stream is now back up. And MicroBlizz is going to be able to take this match with his massive spike, and he now breaks mattyabar's 6-game win streak, and hopefully he can stage a comeback by winning a few more in a row here. This win might have given him the morale that he needs to win a few more games here.
Yeah, MicroBlizz definitely has time to get some catch-up matches here.
The score is now 11-6 in mattyabar's favor. For those of you who are wondering, if you notice, both players were at the top of their matrices, but MicroBlizz had access, or both players actually had access to their clean garbage, so they were effectively able to get out of that situation. And also, since both players had access to their clean garbage, that also means that they're able to time their defense as well, so that their opponent's massive spikes resulting from that clean garbage doesn't kill them. Both players with some misdrops here, but since neither player has a massive spike set up, I think both players will be able to get out of this. And MicroBlizz actually does take the win here.
I think that faced with the decision between making misdrops and playing quickly versus playing more slowly and less misdrops, I think that these players are tending a little towards playing more quickly, because one part of this high-level play is counting on making misdrops and being able to adjust for them when they do. Like, we saw a pretty nice J hook from mattyabar when he made a J misdrop.
I know that mattyabar might feel pressure to play quickly because MicroBlizz is that much faster than him. And MicroBlizz also told me he likes to play very quickly because that's basically his forte, being able to use his speed with his timing. That's just really tough for his opponents to deal with. Unfortunately, mattyabar was able to take advantage of MicroBlizz's messy garbage and top him out right there.
It seems like it's really hard for MicroBlizz when he's really near the top of the field, because that's when mattyabar just starts to really crank up the amount of garbage that he's sending. MicroBlizz making a misdrop with his opening T-spin double and comboing a bit out of it, forming a T-spin double right above his Tetris column. And mattyabar making it was kind of cool how he made a T-spin double out of what looked like it would be a T-spin single. MicroBlizz is just playing blazing faster now.
I think MicroBlizz is feeling a bit of pressure right now because mattyabar does have 12 wins in the match, and he really needs to piece together a solid win streak to get back into the game. And that might be the reason why he's playing a bit faster, in the hopes that his speed might lead to more massive APM that can top mattyabar out when he's spiking.
We did see him speed way up in his game against Hebo Mai, and in that case, he did lose the match. But I wouldn't say that speeding way up is what lost him the match. And I think that in this case, he probably has a chance, even if he does speed way up.
I don't know why, but the screen just froze for me. Is it frozen for you?
No, the screen's pretty good. The match is really interesting right now. I would not be missing any of this. Oh man, you guys do not know what you're missing out on. This is
Yeah,
beautiful.
I'm really sorry about this. I have no idea why it's freezing. My internet connection is fine right now. Okay, it just unfroze. We're in hurry up garbage now.
You guys, they're stacking upwards. Oh wait, you said it's back. All right. MicroBlizz has a lot to down stack right there. And he places J. I think he'll have a lot of trouble getting through that. Yeah, just massive APMs from both players, but the matches are going to mattyabar right now. Let's see, what does that make the score?
13-7. That's the score right now. mattyabar only needs 2 more wins to take the match.
And MicroBlizz is just sending really nice clean garbage, again, comboing out of his attacks. And if anything's going to top mattyabar out, I think he's banking on this.
mattyabar seems to be pausing. I don't know why he paused that long. He was in such great danger of dying, and I think that might actually have costed him the game. Oh, but he did get access to all his clean garbage. I just felt that was a really risky move because he saw that red bar go up really high, and MicroBlizz is going for the T-spin triple here, which does send 7 lines, I believe, when it's back to back.
Yeah, no use in timing your own death.
But it seems like both players are now in safe positions, so mattyabar's little pause there didn't really affect him that much.
We're seeing a lot of Tetrises out of MicroBlizz, and this is really a lot more natural for him because he's so comfortable with the sprint format that sending Tetrises, well, it's very defensive, and it's also a lot more consistent. Because
if you just notice mattyabar just paused again. I mean, sometimes you pause to watch your opponent, but I feel like you can also stack your pieces. Once again, mattyabar paused with that, and I mean, he gave MicroBlizz sufficient time to downstack, and I just really don't know why he's been pausing so much in these games, because he did have the opportunity to win the match just then, but he decided to pause instead, and it wasn't pausing with like a T piece or anything.
All right, and the game goes to mattyabar. So,
and mattyabar, or this is match point. mattyabar only needs 1 more win to take the match.
Sometimes we see players pause like mattyabar did when they don't actually have any defense set up to block their opponent when you want to receive your opponent's lines in order to counter with your opponent's clean garbage. But I'm not sure that mattyabar was doing that right there.
Yeah, it's just really puzzling when you're pausing with the piece that isn't a T or an I that you can use to defend with, because then you're just giving your opponent time to spike you and just send a lot of lines.
mattyabar just made he just made a double miss drop, and you can see him timing his defense as he gets out of that. But that's only going to be good for a T-spin single, and he's just still down stacking. MicroBlizz at the bottom of his field, sending a lot of lines right now, and mattyabar just trying to combo out of it. Let's see if, no.
I don't think he's going to be able to get out of this. That hole is pretty nasty there, and he
yeah, you can see him struggling.
And MicroBlizz is able to extend the match here.
We are seeing mattyabar pause at interesting times, and he's comboing through his Tetris stack, but only doing so defensively. He's not sending MicroBlizz any lines through his combos.
Yeah, once again you saw that mattyabar paused for a while, and it seems like he just made a misdrop there that, well, it would have cost him the game if MicroBlizz had a spike set up, but unfortunately he had no T-spins or Tetris set up at the time. So it seems like mattyabar might be able to get out of that if he has an I piece in hold, which he does. But it seems like he's been at the top of his matrix for most of the duration of the match, and it seems like right now he's just about getting to the middle and the bottom, and we're just basically gonna see some more back and forth action here between the two players.
MicroBlizz has been at the bottom for most of this game, sending a lot of lines. I think this is the first time that we've seen him so high, but as you see, he's just stacking right out of it. And there's no way that mattyabar is going to send a whole lot of lines with that T-spin single donation.
I don't think right now either player is in a position to send a lot of lines because they're both at the bottom. And you can't really send a lot of lines if you're at the bottom because your attack is created from your own stack. And that just makes it a lot harder. And it takes a lot more time, gives your opponent more time to downstack. And I think that misdrop is going to cost mattyabar the game here, and MicroBlizz takes another round. Maybe he can string together a win streak here. I mean, so far we've seen people come back from being down at match point. Blink against Hahaha 2 days ago, or 3 days ago, 2 days ago, yeah, and then Ajamba against Hahaha in the round of 16.
MicroBlizz is playing a lot more defensively, although he's still playing very quickly and sending a lot of lines. He's doing so from the bottom of his stack, and I think that that's a good idea because that gives him a lot more leeway to get out of his misdrops, which are kind of inevitable, not because of anything that he's doing, but just for a lot of reasons, like the lag that is always on TetrisFriends, and just when you're playing that quickly.
Yeah, he actually told me it was lagging pretty badly for him. Like when he was watching his opponent's screen, it was freezing for him and stuff. So he said it was lagging really badly before this match.
Yeah, if your opponent's screen is frozen, then you don't really have anything to go by. You don't know whether to upstack or to set up something to block or whatever.
Ooh, it seems like mattyabar's in a terrible position once again. And he's unable to block MicroBlizz's garbage. And MicroBlizz now has a 3-game win streak at match point. I think mattyabar might be really feeling the pressure now because MicroBlizz has now won 3 in a row, and if he keeps this up, he actually has a chance of maybe catching up, even though the score is 14-10. Um, as long as mattyabar wins one in the next 4 games, then he does take the match. I think one of the reasons that MicroBlizz is staying at the bottom is because he does want to play more conservatively. He notices that if he gets topped out one more time, he loses the entire match. So he needs to make sure that he's in a position to survive at all times. Right now is really not the time to be taking any risks if you're MicroBlizz.
We're just not seeing him take any lines. He's blocking everything that he can. And look at that eye misdrop. He just needs to stack like crazy if he wants to get out of that. But being the blazing fast player that he is, he was able to. Oh no! And here's an S misdrop. Down
Look at
stacking
mattyabar's eye misdrop. It's like in his
eye. What is that? Dude, that's not even fair.
And MicroBlizz takes another win here. And it's 14-11. We might see a comeback here.
You know, I kind of feel bad for mattyabar. That's like the kind of mistrust that I don't know.
Yeah, I was wondering what was going on there. That was weird. The eye was like in midair.
He must be raging right now.
And he actually didn't start. I don't even know what he was doing there. He's going for the C spin, it appears, and he misdropped that, and that might cause him a bit of trouble because MicroBlizz had quite a big spike set up just then. And mattyabar makes the misdrop with the S, and he's gonna take some time to fix that. But it seems like he got out of that relatively easily.
I'm not sure if mattyabar was waiting at the beginning for MicroBlizz to send some garbage for him to counter, or if that was just his internet lagging. But if his internet is lagging, then that would explain a lot of the waiting that he's doing in the middle of the game. Because as you're talking about with freezing,
yeah, Matt. So far today, I've heard from several players that TetrisFriends has been lagging horrendously, and I guess I'm lagging a bit too with the occasional screen freezes such as right now. But MicroBlizz, Hebo, and some other players have been saying that the screens have been freezing and whatnot today. So I think lag is a real factor in these matches here.
Oh no, look at that J
misdrop. But he does have access to his eye hole, so I think he will have time to fix that. And mattyabar has a nasty S misdrop on his side of the screen, and MicroBlizz is going to look to take advantage of that to top him out, and it seems like he is able to do so in this match.
Wow.
And that's a 5-game win streak for MicroBlizz. What an epic comeback so far. It is 14-12.
2 more games, man. You got this.
Just 2 more games, and then he doesn't have to win if he wins 2 more games, but then he would have to win once again. So there really is a lot of pressure on him. Once it's at deuce, it's win by 2. So MicroBlizz is able to have a 1-game cushion there. But I think that if he does win that many games in a row, mattyabar will be at such a psychological disadvantage that he might not be able to win anymore. And it seems like mattyabar is in some real trouble here. MicroBlizz is able to once again take the win, and it is 14-13.
This is really impressive that MicroBlizz has this comeback, but I'm seeing a lot of misdrops from mattyabar that I've just never seen from him as a player. And he wanted to wait a little before this match. I'm guessing something wasn't quite right, and I think we're starting to see what that was.
If MicroBlizz does win this match, it'll be one of the greatest. It will be the greatest comeback in Tetris tournament history. Coming back from 14-7
with a big combo, and mattyabar was able to block everything except for the clean garbage at the bottom, which of course he wants. He makes another Z misdrop. He's just stacking like crazy to get out of that.
That S misdrop is going to cost MicroBlizz a little bit of time there. But fortunately for him, mattyabar really doesn't have much of a spike setup right now, and MicroBlizz was able to get out of that pretty effectively. And now he is down stacking and getting to a safer position and getting ready to spike mattyabar. I think MicroBlizz really needs to limit those misdrops right here because uh, this is a pivotal game. This is still a must-win game for him. If he loses this game, he still loses the match, even though the score would be 15-13.
which is still very impressive.
It is quite impressive, but considering that he made such a massive comeback, I think it would really hurt if he lost right here due to some misdrops. Because so far, I don't think he's being outplayed or anything. He's holding his own, and he's actually doing really well in terms of spiking and timing.
Everyone wants this guy to take the match. From the shout box, we're seeing Char, Steph, and Blink all saying, "Hey, take the match," all cheering him on.
Yeah, I really hope that he can pull off this comeback because that would be such an epic thing. Oh, that
Okay,
misdrop there is pretty
gotta,
nasty. I think
yeah,
MicroBlizz is doing a good job of putting enough pressure on mattyabar so that he's always trying to be at the bottom of his matrix. And when mattyabar's at the bottom of his matrix, he's unable to send any spikes over to MicroBlizz, which does give MicroBlizz a lot of time to downstack. Oh no, that
no,
misdrop
that's
cost him
the
the game.
game.
Ah. So MicroBlizz
Okay,
does fall a little bit short in his comeback, but I think if he did spin in that Z, he might have been able to take this match.
well,
Great
that was
games,
an
everyone.
epic
This was
match
definitely
either
one of
way.
the closest matches.
Wow. So now